Everything changes. Nothing is constant. We're on the move. And that's the beauty of business. Just because you've set up a system and you think it's amazing doesn't mean it's practical. You need to be able to offer your business in a box. For us small businesses, it's always better to go for headhunting through companies that are bigger. If it means you're visiting every chicken place, ordering and sussing the service, that's what you do. All about working through it, sifting out what works for you and what doesn't. Sometimes life will be lifing, but not at the cost of my brand. It's important to have a standard. Focus on your leadership. Don't get someone to do something that they don't want to do. I think you should be looking at everything else beyond systems.
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits, and this is an exciting one for me because I'm with someone I'm considering a very dear friend. She is coming for the second time on the podcast, and the last time we had a very valuable and deep conversation about her entrepreneurial journey. And today what we're going to talk about is how to build a business worth selling. Because you know this, many people own businesses that make money, but those businesses are hard to grow. Those businesses have no exit value. If the entrepreneur were to sell it, it is not worth much. But the business is making money for the entrepreneur. And that is what this is going to be, a breakdown from someone who has the experience, the context, and who's been there, done it. Meloh.
Yes, Dandagunjan.
Been there, done it.
Yeah, we try, Coach. We try. You know we try. But more than anything, thank you for having me here again. It's
So
always
it's a
just
pleasure,
you know.
Yeah.
At least this time I'm in your home ground. You know,
Yeah,
last
boy.
time I had home ground advantage.
Nah, today we're here.
Yeah, so knock it off. You better knock it off.
I know we'll cook something special.
Yeah.
So I called you for this. We wanted to talk systems, but then I thought, I've seen this recurring cycle over and over again, looking at entrepreneurs around. Many entrepreneurs have their businesses that don't have systems, but the systems are there in the entrepreneur's head.
Yeah.
What have you seen? Let me not impose my context.
I've definitely seen entrepreneurs build systems. I've definitely seen entrepreneurs dismantle systems, you know. I've definitely seen entrepreneurs who don't have an idea of inama systems. How is that
What is
necessary?
this?
But to find Uguti, they're already building systems within their companies. So I think it's just a matter of labeling and being specific and helping people contextually understand what it means to build systems and what it means to build a viable and a strong business.
Try and put a difference between the two. A business that is more a job for the entrepreneur, no resale value, and an asset of value. A business that sells at a value. What differences do you see in these two?
The differences that I see is definitely the fact that in one, you are actively working for your money. My social media manager, Meris, would say, you're dancing for your money.
You're dancing.
You're active. You're dancing for your money. And the latter really is about stability, flow, making money in your sleep, making money, taking it from, let's say you're opening your business from Monday to Saturday and you're closed on Sundays. Then you make the decision of opening on Sundays. And then you extend your hours. You move Sundays from half day to full day. And then boom, you've got a model that operates 24 hours. For example, if you're selling products and you've got a physical store, you can process and build systems that bring money, 24 hours around the clock. And the office hours are office hours. So that for me would be the most practical and simplest way of differentiating between the two.
So this becomes the business that has the systems.
Yes.
And it runs without the owner.
Yes.
All right. So let's give the people some context. What has your experience been building business and selling business?
My experience has definitely been more on the side of building businesses. I tried selling my businesses, and when it was time to sign on the dotted line, I chickened out. You know,
I'm curious to know why, but we'll get
I
there.
chickened out. I chickened out for a number of reasons. We were a bit, personal on the last podcast interview, and I told you,
Stuff was happening.
you know, and I should have just made the decision to take time out. And part of my decision was coming from a very sane, logical space of let me free myself, let me do something that I enjoy, let me do something that I love, let me rediscover who Meloh is, because I am approaching. Well, I have achieved my 10th year mark. So we've officially been in business for 10 years. And thank you for that.
10 years and growing.
Yes, 10 years and growing. And for me, that on its own came with a lot of pressure. Again, turning 30 was a big one. So someone said in the comments, this one just needs a holiday.
I missed it.
This one just needs, and I thought to myself, but now I'm thinking, maybe my sister was right, So what changed everything for me was the sale of one of the stores of which I operate in. And funny enough, the process hasn't even officially started. But that was the one excuse I think that I told myself. I need my company, my books, my financials, and an operating business to be able to purchase this property. And at least if I can purchase this property, it'll then change the entire model for me in terms of I can sell the business, but still own the building. And it'll give me some form of control.
Okay.
I believe that I convinced myself to that extent, but I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking, what am I doing in the next 10 years? I've built the business organically, and I've put in all that I have. It's time for me to potentially tap into funding. It's time for me to tap into huge loans at very low interest rates. I'm doing an application for about 22 million. And even that, like, I could definitely go for more. The sky is the limit. What worse can I do?
Okay.
What damage can I do at this point?
I don't know how I'll get there. There is, you are good at doing like a quick overview of the businesses that you've built. Try do it in 2 minutes.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, igama lami uMeloh Nhleko, and I own 7+ businesses, and primarily the bulk of the 4 is Tacky Wash SA, and we provide shoe care services. We're based in 4 locations in KZN, Durban, and then I've got a concept called Linen and Mocha. It's a laundromat merged with a cafe. You basically walk in, drop your laundry, and have a cup of coffee or a meal. Host a meeting and print a document as well to your liking. And I've got 2 branches of that. And then I've got a business called Hydrostop, which is a filtered water business. We do filtered water, but from a tech perspective. Our bottles are tech driven. You can basically use our water as marketing for events, for funerals, etc. It could give you a whole program of an event.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a nice summary. That was under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you've done this.
I've done pitching. I've pitched, I've danced for my money.
All right. So, Meloh, when you wanted to sell the business, let's start there. What did you learn through that process? Because at some point you had to come up with a price, a value. This is how much money I want. What did that process look like? Because you know what I want? Someone who might never sell the business, or someone who has a side hustle, is in a full-time job, but building, to build with selling in mind, even if they never get to sell it, because that looks different from just doing business.
100%. For me, that process was traumatic.
Come on.
No, seriously. I mean, the bulk of my businesses and endeavors is the brand Tacky Wash. And I count that brand as 4 branches because all those branches are independent of each other. We are a franchise that I've built. I don't have any franchisees. I don't want to go down that route for now. I still want to make sure that I'm getting in as much meat, adding more meat to the bones as possible. So I'm charging nothing less than, 1.5 million for my franchise. The fact that my franchise is evaluated at 850,000 for me is diabolical. It's disrespectful.
Also, there was the difference.
Yes.
You had a certain value in mind?
Yes, I had a certain value in mind, but your value is informed by the setup price. It's informed by collective revenue. Remember the fact.
So the guys that were doing the valuation to come up with what they were going to pay, they gave you these considerations.
Yes,
we are looking at what it costs to set it up.
No, so let me explain. So there's a company that I work with that's helped me set up my franchise.
Yeah.
Basically, that took everything that I have built, systems, processes, basically puts what you tell them on paper, goes through your books, understands your business model, possibly makes suggestions to boost certain areas. You do trial and error for a couple of months, and then you come up with a price.
Okay.
You break everything down. How much does it cost to set this? How much does it cost to set this? You go through the process of your branding, your brand positioning, your logos. How would you want a franchisee to position your brand? What is it that you want them to do or not do? Which of your branches is the most ideal setup that you want moving forward?
Other people to copy.
Yeah, other people to copy. And these things sort of need to be able to offer your business in a box. So that company was the very same company that said to purchase a Tacky Wash franchise, we evaluated at 850,000.
And you went to sleep.
I went to sleep, bruh. I was like, nah, because I know the potential. But remember, numbers have little to do with potential.
They're looking at the numbers.
Yes, the whole potential segment of numbers, whether you're selling a business or you're buying a business, really doesn't matter. It's all about what are you making now? Will you be breaking even? How soon will you be breaking even? And how much is it going to cost? Really, the market favors the buyer more than the seller.
So what does the buyer look at that a lot of small business owners are missing?
The buyer looks at immediate returns. And we're passionate as entrepreneurs. We are looking at
So you come with your passion. This is going to work.
Yes. And
they're looking at the numbers.
Yes, and I'm upset because Undando just wants a business in a box. He has
and it has to be working.
Exactly. He does his 9 to 5. He's got a couple of investments. He probably pulled from his Tupotnyana here and there, and he could afford. He's got a good credit score. He could afford to get some money,
a loan for that.
Yes, a loan for that. So he wants something that he can pop in during lunchtime, and and check on his business. But when you're in there, building, putting it all, the sleepless nights, so that someone else can have it easy.
Who taught you to build systems?
I think
practically. And to do it right.
Yeah, I think it's the circumstances that are faced along the way while building the businesses. I think I always just say Uteki Wash is the business of my dreams, in the sense that it's shaped who I am from the ground up. I've had to come up with the company name, come up with the logo, build the brand image and brand communications from structure, play around with it. I've had to fight and cuss people because they're telling me the name Tacky Wash does not make sense. The name totally doesn't make sense if you want to do shoe repairs and all of that. But I stuck to my guns and I was like, I'm not changing the name. Work around the logo and find what works.
And they did.
So sometimes it's all about working through it, sifting out what works for you and what doesn't. So the building of systems for me has just been a journey, and that's why I'm able to help people implement systems in their own businesses. And it's easy for me to walk into a store and notice
they don't have a system for this.
Yes, and notice and then come up with recommendations almost immediately.
Can you give examples for someone who will say, okay, I probably might not. What are the systems that I need to be having in my business?
For example, the simplest being a POS system, point of sale system. Like how are you checking your inventory? If you're a service providing business, how do you know whether your staff are providing services to customers for free? A camera system is a
can
system.
happen.
Yeah. A camera system is a system that can inform you when people go in and out of the business. Like for me, I used to be strict, especially when I went away for the first time. I used to be strict about staff using the back door instead of the front entry. You know, don't come out from the front storefront because that entrance, the camera there counts the steps of the people walking in and out. Eventually, I had to do away with that because I realized it's stressing me out. It's almost easy for people to use the front door because sometimes it's not even for their liking. It's to help a customer. So I had to scratch that system out. And that's the thing with systems. That just because you've set up a system and you think it's amazing doesn't mean it's practical. So that's the thing.
I heard you give an example last time and you were talking about answering the phone.
Yes.
And you have a system for...
Yes. I'm finicky about that. I call my stores and someone is like, hello, you speaking to... I'm like, oh, is that how your training went?
So you check this.
You know, no, it will happen naturally because you in my mind, I know my business at the back of my hand. I know what I require from it. I know what, as a consumer, what I expect, you know, and it's important to have a standard. And we you know companies, big companies, even small companies, they've got big writings on the wall on, you know, these are our values, integrity, blah blah blah. But actually, what does that mean?
I get you.
Let's be practical about it.
I get you.
What does that mean? What does that look like? I go even as far as training my staff on how to interact with people. You do not pull your face. If something is bothering you back at home or whatever in the background with the team, you have the right to say, can I take some time out? You have that right, because from a human's perspective, I can understand that we can't all self-regulate. You know, we can't all self-regulate, and sometimes life will be lifing, but not at the cost of my brand. Not at the cost of my brand. So I'm very careful with regards to who I put at the front, because it shouldn't be a place where you bring your problems to a point where it affects customers' experience. Because that very same customer that you gave a bit of an attitude because you were upset about the fact that somebody ate your lunch at the back was potentially maybe your stepping stone to a better future. The jobs that I provide are minimum wage jobs, and there are quite a few people that earn above the 8,500 Rand threshold, you know, and literally because we're a service-based business and we're a small business, there's nothing I can do. That's the playground we'll be operating in. So I know what I want and what I dream for. And I know, as a person who's been a waiter, who's had that background, I know the impact, the positive impact an interaction with a customer.
A good interaction.
Yes, a good interaction with a customer can have on your life. You know, I've met people, I've built good relationships. I've met people 10 years ago who are now positively contributing to my business today, simply because when they were drunk, when I was a waitress, I decided to take their car, drive them home, and Uber to my place.
What?
Exactly. That
You've
is
done
service.
that?
I've done that. There's a customer, Uraj. He used to live.
You're naming him.
Yeah, he's passed on. He's late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's late. Uraj, and he was such a good man. He was really, really a good man. You know, interactions with him, even the way a customer treats you as an employee, it does something to you. You know,
Yeah.
it makes you feel seen, and you want to also go over and above. But for me, I mean, I'm a service girl, Vele, so obviously I'm going to be biased.
All right. So part of your system involves training and
Training people.
especially on customer
Yes.
support and customer service.
Yes.
So what I want to do is name a couple of systems. Give me an idea of what that would look like, because I want people to have ideas of what to go and fix in their businesses, so their businesses have more value. One of the areas where having systems falls apart is recruitment, bringing people. What is a good system around bringing people in the company and the right people look like?
Okay, so that system looks like we are the price. The ones doing the interviews,
Yeah.
we are the price. We want someone that's going to fit our culture. This is what we're looking for. This is what we want. We're not going to take you just because we need someone and we are stranded and, say under pressure. In fact, a couple of months ago, I've told my manager, after countless times, she's come back to me and said, look, I'm not finding the person that you are saying I should find for front desk Musgrave, because we were having a serious problem. The lady that was supervising and doing front desk in Musgrave, we moved her to Umhlanga, the branch in Umhlanga.
Yeah.
And then when she left, the customers left with her. So now...
Was that good?
She's good. Bonnie, ooh, shout outs. Shout out my Boniza. Ooh, Bonnie's good. Customers followed her. And that's not something new, because even with me, it took customers a while to accept that I'm no longer going to be available at the front desk because there's so much more that I'm doing. So we promoted her junior, and he was struggling to perform. He's good in the background, he's good at the job, but he struggles with customer service. He struggles with addressing issues, and he struggles with just general leadership. He's great at doing his job, but when it comes to people, count him out, So I thought to myself, okay, we've already promoted Ubuti, and he's already earning that salary. That's
It's
a
done.
loss on us.
It's done.
We can demote him because he's also at a point where he's asking, I don't want to deal with customers.
Okay.
So another thing, don't get someone to do something that they don't want to do. Don't try build something in your mind out of someone,
That I think they could fit there.
Exactly.
When they don't want to.
Yes. So I said, number one, we are the price. Number two, when it comes to recruitment, number two, you don't force someone within our operations, you don't force someone to be something that they're not. Right? So I told my manager, you haven't tried enough. But in party, I've made calls to ladies that I know that used to work at the chicken place I used to work at before I came to Taki Wash. And these are the people that I trust and I believe in. They are good with customers, but I'm just not winning.
They're not available.
Yeah. So I was like, go again. You've got my card. You've got the business card. If it means you're visiting every chicken place, ordering and sussing the service, that's what you do.
Okay.
She did exactly that. And here we are. Our sales are boosted. We're competing nicely with Umhlanga, and Uponi is getting a run for her money.
Also, you had to headhunt the people you want.
Yes, you headhunt. Especially for us small businesses, it's always better to go for headhunting through companies that are bigger. Poach from the big guys. And it's a different story. And
I didn't think you'd go there.
Trust me, I have extreme double standards when it comes to this, and it's something I'm willing to take the L for.
Okay.
In my mind, it's justified. It's okay. I get very upset when someone who intends to open the same business as I approaches and poaches my staff. I have big beef with that.
So that's the double standard that have.
Yes, I've got big beef with that. Because, number one, I'm very much accessible. And I very much communicate the fact that collaboration is key. And I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help you build your brand identity, help you build your structures, help you build your systems, just pay me so that I give you, what I know. And you don't have to be shady, etc. But people consistently come and pick from my business, and they open down the road or up the road, and then they fail. And then I have a field day because I have a platform. I will talk about it. So I will
know you in TikTok, ne?
I will express myself. I go to no, like, why are you being like that? But then on the other hand, I'm saying, let's go poach from the big boys. I'm not selling chicken. I'm not poaching people who are selling chicken. I'm poaching skill. I'm taking someone, I'm putting in the work and making them understand my business, my approach to business, my actual systems, and everything else that comes with my business.
You know what I'm thinking while you're saying this? It's funny how we are okay when a big business poaches our people because we understand. They offer them double the money. So there's nothing we can do. It's like, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
But now when you're saying poach from the big guys, it's lending different. Like there's a lot of, are you sure about this
The
advice?
big guys invest in training. Listen, truth of the matter is, next time, don't tell people what we're going to talk about, because the conversation just goes left. Take that.
No,
Take
relax.
that.
I'll bring it back.
It takes left. It goes left,
Yeah.
but we're happy, right? This is the thing. The big guys really invest in their training, right?
Yeah.
They spend millions. And individuals and people in general, the mentality, especially low income earners, the mindset is, I take pride because I work for a Kauai. I take pride in what I do because I work for a reputable brand. I've lived the experience of being disrespected and having employees leave my business simply because it's not well known or popular, but I pay more. Believe me, I've poached from the likes of your chicken companies. I've poached from your companies like
Big retailers.
big retailers that sell food that we love, that is fresh, that always have cool spaces. You understand? I've poached from there. And I know they don't pay.
So your system is simpler than I thought. Poach people who already know what they're doing and who already have been
And just
trained.
convert them back to you. They have to have people who are just all about their bread. Their mindset has to be about my bread. And already they have that thing of taking pride in their work.
Because other people go far with recruitment systems in particular, including things like multiple interviews, practical interviews. Like we test you in a panel,
100%.
but we're going to test you practically and say,
100%.
do the thing. Because they've noticed a lot of people can talk.
Yes, talk the talk, but can't walk the walk. The famous line is, I work well under pressure until the pressure comes. Sweetie, no.
Then you realize.
No,
all right, let's go to a different system. This was HR. I like where it went. Let's go to lead generations.
Lead generations. So for me, I don't actively look for people when we generate leads or
So
get
you don't
customers.
have a system for marketing or just
We do have a marketing system. We're mostly online. We do search engine optimization, the optimization of our websites. We do social media, but we don't go for like customers like cold calling, type of marketing. We don't do that. Our business is much simpler. I believe there's a different feel and attitude that we got when we were calling customers. Hi, please just remember to bring your shoes. It's like you're annoying me.
Yeah.
Like ngibbies. So the approach for us when we reach out to customers, it's customers that already exist. It's from an appreciation standpoint. It's from a reminder standpoint. It's not grabbing new customers in that sense.
Do you create scripts for your team that when you're doing this follow up, this is what you say? When it's after a month, this is what you say? You do have...
Yeah. We do have that. We do have scripts. For example, if we're saying thank you, we have our system will tell us our top 50 customers per branch. People who've brought in the most revenue, people who've brought in the most shoes,
Who come back?
who come back,
often.
So we'll give those people a call and just send an appreciation message to them. And
All 50?
yeah,
Every month?
not every month, at the end of the year. Like, remember we're
okay.
doing at the end of the year. So wishing them a Merry Christmas, and that's that. But one thing we've been very careful about now is most of our customers are Muslim as well, especially particularly in the Musgrave branch. So so they don't really
Merry Christmas
Merry Christmas doesn't hit, So we did get a bit of a backlash in that sense. So we had to change it. And be more generic. Enjoy your festive season. Our suppliers as well. Our suppliers become a big part of our business. They become actual customers as well. And sending that thank you and a reminder is always appreciated. There's also another system called SMS South Africa.
Okay.
I think this will be very practical. www.smssouthafrica.co.za and basically you send bulk SMSs to your database.
Yeah, there's a number of global systems that do that.
So you upload your contacts list and you draft a message and you buy yourself credits, you pay into the provided account, and
How often do you do that?
quarterly.
Okay.
You don't do it enough. I'm really, really finicky about what's this? The policy Poppy Act. Yeah, I don't like to bother people.
All right. No, quarterly
But
is still
but that's
good.
probably costing me millions. But that's
You
a lesson
reckon?
for me. Yeah. I mean, Dando, there's only one of me. And how many businesses are there?
Yeah, number.
Could I really do everything? Could I really be consistent?
Your team can.
My team can, but can they really? Remember, I steer the ship. In as much as my team takes initiative, and I'm extremely proud of my team, I think they're the best team in the world, but I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if someone possibly who mentors me takes a deep dive into my business and tells me you're wrong. I'm not going to be I'm not going to exclude that thought. I'm going to actually explore that. So everything changes. Nothing is constant. We're on the move. And that's the beauty of business.
Let's talk about a different system. Quality control.
Quality control.
Ensuring that the same quality service and product is delivered in one branch to the next branch. What did you set up?
So I sent a 3-minute voice note the other day, basically emphasizing on the fact that how is a customer complaining about a shoe that's not cleaned properly
Okay.
when a shoe goes through 3 quality check processes?
You've got 3.
Yeah, 3. Firstly, when you clean it,
You should see.
you should see. Secondly, when you get it off the dryer. Thirdly, when you get it off the dryer and prep it, putting the laces, making sure that process is where the real the bulk of the quality control is supposed to happen. Because sometimes you're not going to see once when the shoe is dry, is wet, that you did a proper job or not.
You
right?
see when it's dry.
Yes. The third section, when you're actually sending communications to the customer to come collect.
To say the shoe is ready.
Because remember, people get assigned shoes. We've got daily targets, right? You get assigned shoes to clean. Those shoes are recorded, so we know exactly who cleaned which shoe. Because again, from experience, we've learned that people can just say they weren't responsible for this.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. And then now it's a back and forth, and we're missing the whole point of it needs fixed, and we need to address the fact that this is wrong and move on. People are going to be stuck on the bickering aspect of it. So taking pictures and recording which shoe you are doing is mandatory. It's part of the process. So I reiterated on the voice notes that it's not just going to be the person who's cleaned the shoe. In fact, the person that's cleaned the shoe will get the least punishment because shame. The shoe was wet. The one who took it off the dryer and prepped it. The
Needs
one
to explain.
the one who sent the SMS after assessing it and then stored it. Because the process of, sending the SMS and storing it, it's part of our system. It's a big part of our system because we need to know exactly where that shoe was placed. And the SMS has to reflect that. So, yeah.
So this is you being clear about how your business functions and all the steps involved from a client placing an order to you delivering and calling the client to say this is ready. So there needs to be quality control.
100% throughout.
You've put that through all your business. What does it
All
look
of them.
like for the water business? Because it's the simplest business, at least in my mind.
Oh my God, I even forget I have that. I even forget that I have that. I've got a system so good in terms of like the water quality that tells us our pH on a daily basis.
Okay.
Our water pH needs to be on the same pH level. And yeah.
So this is automated.
Automatic.
I guess those are the simplest systems to run.
That is very automatic. If our water pH drops or goes up, we put all stops. The only water that we're selling is the water that's packaged in the fridge, and our plumber has to come through and sort it out. Simple.
Oh, that's a system again. When something goes wrong, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Shut everything
Shut
down.
everything down.
Call the
Let's move
plumber.
on. Yeah. So that is the most simplest business ever.
Oh, so I was right.
Yeah.
Of the ones you have,
Yeah.
it's the
Look,
simplest.
the reason why I highlight Techie Wash the most is because I'm starting everything there from scratch. And every other business that I've diversified into is a copy and paste or finding alternatives. I think the most challenging, the least challenging is definitely the water business. The most challenging was linen and mocha because I've got two branches there. I've got an express branch and a main branch. And the express branch doesn't provide food. It's just coffee and laundry and shoes. And this other one, it's just laundry, food, printing of documents, right? So that one is much closer to the main branch in Musgrave. It's next door to each other. So management can flow through, fix whatever it is, help swap stuff around. If we're seeing, for example, someone from Techie Wash who's really strong, who can really like go and implement the culture there, the work culture, because people who deal with food, believe it or not, that's a whole different industry in terms of attitude and work culture compared to people who are service providers.
Okay. What's the difference?
For example, baristas. Let us have a conversation about baristas. Baristas are so cheeky.
That's what you've noticed.
The attitude with baristas is insane.
Okay.
It is, hey bro, it's diabolical. Baristas can leave a job today and get another one tomorrow. And they know it. And they use that. Even for the wrong things, So I've resorted to, I'm not going to hire a barista from somewhere else. I'm not going to take that attitude and that's out there in the industry and bring it here. I can make coffee. I make a mean cappuccino,
Okay.
So I will train you and I will take you through the process of how the coffee, add linen and mocha should be done, should be made.
All right. As we get close to a wrap, if someone wants to increase the value of their business, what should they be looking at?
I think you should be looking at everything else beyond systems. How much are you banking? Assets under the business. Your investments count a lot as well.
Of the business.
Of the business. Company has to have a savings. Company has to have that debit order. That money is coming off. Otherwise, I'm playing. What are we doing here? Are we building businesses that are self-sustaining or are we living hand to mouth? So for me, it's that. It's investments. It's your systems and beyond.
How does someone get out of the rut of I'm the business and I'm failing to let go?
Systems.
I'm the business and I'm failing
Systems.
to trust people.
Yeah.
Systems means you have to trust
Yeah,
people.
you have to trust people, but you have to, you can't also, you cannot abandon your instincts. If something is not right, it's not right.
If you're not feeling it, right?
If you're not feeling it, 100% go with it. Mina, there are deals or proposals that I'm like, hold on, let's not send, because it just doesn't feel right. And then something happens, then I'm like, oh God, I see you. That's what I was waiting for, you know? So don't abandon that. Be very in tune with your feelings. I know but business is not personal. I'll always maintain that business is personal. They'll say the customer is always right. I'll always maintain that the customer can be wrong, and my priority is to take care of my staff first. So
Okay. You have it the other way around.
yeah, definitely have it the other way around. Experience has taught me. I know what it's like to have a customer disrespect you and have a manager completely accept that, someone who's supposed to be protecting you. Then the work environment is affected. And I know what it's like to have the opposite and have a manager and a leader that takes care of you. You're more comfortable now at work. You know you're taken care of. You know where to toe the line. You know there's boundaries, and it works out for a much safer and much healthier work environment. So from my perspective, I think focus on your leadership. Lead from a place of abundance and lead from a place of, instead of a place of righteousness and selfishness and keeping everything to yourself, be giving. You know, let it just flow, be at ease. Don't be uptight because you don't want to take for this training course because they're going to leave you and then you're going to be stuck with the fees. Do that. I've invested in people who've left and come back and give me more value than I could have ever thought or imagined I'd get.
So they land with you, they go and
They go
more.
implement somewhere, grab something more, come back, because we've prioritized having a positive relationship and a positive work culture. And I wish you well. I know nobody comes out of school or grows up dreaming to clean shoes for a living or work at a laundromat or a cafe or pack water. I know everybody has their dreams, their aspirations, and things that they strive for. And for me, I lead from a personal growth perspective. I'm all about people that are moving within their own rights. I'm all about people that have their things going, and it gets me going. I'm working with a lot of Amatuke manje, and yay. Like, hey, I'm learning a lot. I'll tell you that much.
I need to have one on that.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot.
As we close, what can we look forward to? What's coming next in the chapter of Meloh?
I think I know I always say it, but I'm finally coming to Joburg. I'm holding myself accountable. If I don't move to Joburg by
You're
December,
opening a branch.
I'm not opening a branch. I'm just building my personal brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you said moving, so I'm excited.
No. I'm moving. I'm not expanding to Joburg yet. I'm moving. I'm relocating.
Okay.
I'm running my businesses from there, from Johannesburg, and I'm managing, and I'm going to see what type of influence that has on me. I noticed Sugosi.
How long are you giving yourself for the test? To see that is the move working?
Yeah, I haven't given myself a timeline as to how long I'll stay, but I've definitely given myself a time frame. Which is definitely 2026. I need to make the move. Yeah, but even if I wake up every day and I hunt for a podcast to attend or
that's
knock
not
on
gonna
doors,
be hard for you.
it's not gonna be hard. Trust me, guys. If you're watching this, poach me. Dando doesn't deserve me. He doesn't even pay me to be here.
Wait now.
So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to, meddle in other people's businesses and tell people what they're doing wrong and what they could do right.
Yeah.
So you also learn a lot in the process as well.
True.
I learn a lot from people that I consult me. I do. I truly, truly do.
Yeah, well, I do agree. Our job teaches us quite a bit. We learn a lot more actually from the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They have context and great stories.
Yes, and practical experience.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging with us till this time. Let us know what you think. And this is all about putting systems into that business, that side hustle. And you have ideas on the kind of systems that you can introduce in your business and stories for the next couple of days
100%.
from the one and only.
Thank
I
you.
guess we'll be seeing you in more podcasts after the move.
Listen, I'm here. I've been doing a couple already. I'm happy.
Congratulations
Thank
for
you.
that. All the best for
Are
2026.
you jealous?
Aibo. I'm
Are you
happy
jealous?
for you.
No, I know you're jealous.
I'm happy for you.
I know you're jealous.
There's a big difference.
No, but you're jealous of because that's your competition.
No, not
You're
really.
not.
Yes. No, I want to try and answer, and let's see
Answer
if I can
me.
find a good answer.
Okay.
So, one of the things that I'm seeing is my growth is not normal.
100%.
There are people whose growth I admire as well. Theirs is not normal, like 5 times more than me. But I look at them, and because I've hung around with them, one is in Kenya, Otto. And I was talking to him recently and congratulating him actually. And I realized it doesn't help you to be jealous. It helps you more to be grateful for someone's growth.
100%.
So that's where I'm sitting, especially with him. And he's grown like 5 times faster than me.
That's good. That's good. And you're learning from him.
I'm learning from him and talking to him and
100%.
congratulating him. I've learned that's a better approach. It's a less painful way to live.
100%. Because I maintain that jealousy is an emotion that is valid. And we all experience a certain level of jealousy. And for me, I just taught myself to say it. So, friend, you landed
say
this
it that
opportunity.
way.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous, friend. Like, I'm proud of you, though.
Well, that's how you say it.
Yeah, I'm jealous. It's
No.
not like I wish you ill, or I wish it could. I mean, ultimately, if you're saying jealous, like you mean I would have wanted that for myself, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Maybe it's
Like
maybe it's a semantics thing, because you know what I think when you say jealous, it's I wish this were me, not him or her.
Can
So
we
when
just
you
cap
put
it
it
at
that way-
I wish it could be me too.
Because
not
when you say
him,
the word jealous, it lands that way.
100%.
That's why.
So we need to find a synonym.
Yeah, because people who are jealous are more in that direction.
It's like the evil
This
eye.
should have come to me, not Meloh.
I guess I need to change my vocab.
Thank you.
Thank
this
you
was
so
supposed to be a conclusion. See you in the next episode. Actually, you can let us know what you think about this jealous thing.
100%.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dando. Cheers.